And we are back here on the Big Time Sports Podcast Show. It's Mitch Spinell alongside Mitchell Balla, and it is now time to go into our next segment, which brings in a special guest. He is the head coach of the Hiland Hawks girls basketball team over in Berlin, and the team will be participating, as they always do every year, in this upcoming 2023 Classic in the Country Girls Basketball Showcase. He is one Brady Schlabach. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Appreciate it, guys. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So, Coach, now you guys are coming off of a couple of wins recently, including the 51-13 victory over the Indian Valley Braves this past week. And you guys seem to be getting into a bit of a rhythm here after getting a couple of losses here to start the season. What do you think has been the biggest change for you guys compared to where you were at the start of the season to get
Mhm.
you guys a couple of recent victories?
Yeah, we're a very young team, and we've got a lot of girls that haven't played, big time minutes throughout an entire season. And so for us, it was really figuring out who needs to be in what roles and getting them to believe in those roles and come together around that. So we're starting to see a little bit of success with that, with people stepping up and filling those roles. But it's been fun, man. It's been a good season, so I'm enjoying it.
Coach, talking about some of your players and obviously looking at the last game in that 51-13 win, somebody like Mallory Stutzman, 23.7 rebounds, and you had Ashley Mullet dished out 8 assists along, scoring 6 and grabbing 3. Just talk about how fast some of these players have grown up. You mentioned you guys are young. How have they grown up quickly? And is that a reason for your success so far this season?
Yeah, absolutely. And, like those two kids that you mentioned, they were really good role players on my dad's state championship team 2 years ago. And then, as sophomores, you don't really get a big leadership role either. Mallory was hurt last year, but, coming into who they are and who we want them to be, a big thing that comes with that is leadership. So getting them to believe in themselves and believe in each other and kind of take on those leadership roles has been important for us, and they've definitely done that and stepped up big time in those areas.
Well, Brady, you mentioned your dad, who was the leader of that program for many, many years, a lot of successful seasons out in Berlin. And you saw the team in a different leadership last season. Obviously, Jason Mischler was the head coach for the 2021-22 season, and then he steps down following that year. Was that a bit of a surprise to you and the rest of the Hiland community? And what was the process that led to you being early going out for the head coaching position and then getting the job?
hmm Yeah, I mean, I think Jason did a great job last year. These kids have grown up knowing how to work hard and play the game the right way, and so that process and that transition to him last year and then to me this year is super smooth because of what's already in place. Like you said, I've got a pretty good playbook to go by and a pretty good mentor as well. So that the behind the scenes stuff really is where all that kind of comes into place. Setting what do we need to go to a game? What do we need preseason wise? How do we set up our shootouts and trips and fundraising, all that kind of stuff. So that has I feel like been the biggest thing, especially off the court, with that help.
I can only imagine how big of a help your dad was with you, and now is obviously you're there as the head coach and transitioning a little bit, coach. The classic in the country is this weekend. A
Mhm.
huge just display of talent of girls basketball. And obviously your team will be playing there. And we have the schedule pulled up here. But when it comes to having this played at your venue, what type of things behind the scenes goes into that? And is it you and the athletic director and athletic department that is picking and choosing these teams to come participate in this classic?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that have been going on. The last week, it's really started to ramp up, but planning really starts, April, May of the year before. And Bryce McKee is a guy who does a lot of the scheduling. He actually went to Berlin Highland, coached in college for a little while, and now he's got the best AAU team in the state and has sent a lot of players to college. But he does a lot of that scheduling, and he's really good at putting together some good matchups. He knows the kids that are coming in. But for us to have an event like that, in our town, the excitement that it brings to the community, but also to all of our kids, high school, junior high kids help out, elementary kids help out. And so for them to see what elite level basketball looks like and give them something to work towards is pretty cool. Because I think we've got a couple kids that could potentially play college basketball. And so for kids like that to put themselves up against elite competition and kind of see where they stack up is important. And I think our non-conference schedule, honestly, I would put it up with one of the best in the state, for sure, our division. And so that's kind of helping prepare us for that. Ashley getting a chance to play against some great point guards already this year. And then Mallory has obviously been a big piece for us this year as well. So I'm excited to see kind of where we stack up.
Well, Coach, the Classic not only brings your team into the mix, and you guys will be playing up here very soon. You'll be playing on Saturday, January 14th at 7:30 against Convoy Crestview, and then you play Monday, January 16th in the 7:30 matchup, the last game of the showcase against Midview. When you talk about this entire showcase, what is that feeling of not only bringing your girls in to show off what they can do, but also these other schools from not even just the state from Tuscarawas County or the state of Ohio? You'll have teams from out of state come in. I remember even a team was planning even to come in one year out of the country. What is that feeling to not only bring all that talent together, but also to bring in a number of scouts and potential college coaches to see what this showcase is able to bring?
It's really special, especially to be a part of something like that. I've kind of grown up in the landscape of Ohio girls basketball. There's awesome coaches across the state. And so to kind of bring everyone to one spot and get to showcase that. I mean, there's the one game on Monday, Purcell Marion versus Laurel. I mean, Purcell Marion's got she's, I believe, number 3 in the country in the sophomore class, and then Laurel's got the number 1 player in the country in that freshman class. And so that's kind of that next level that you get to see. There's the top Division I teams all come, and so it's really cool to see that happen, on your home floor. Stuff like that is pretty cool to be a part of.
Coach, obviously I'm up here in Stark County and covering the teams around here. I have covered Jackson, who is a team that'll be playing, as well as Laurel. And mentioning those two teams and some of the talented players they both boast on their roster, I know you have to get your team ready to coach, but is there time that you're able to step aside and maybe sit and just watch as a spectator and take in the different styles of basketball, as well as all the different talent on the court from all these other teams that are attending?
Yeah, for sure. And we try to do that throughout the weekend as we get our free time, and especially our girls too. Tell them, hey, go watch a couple games Saturday, Monday, whatnot. Obviously, get out of there at a good hour and prepare yourself, get what you need. But yeah, to be able to watch the different styles, teams that really push the ball, teams that slow it down, to see what other coaches across the state are doing, because especially in basketball, it's a sport where you take from other coaches, you give to other coaches, stuff like that. So it's really special to be able to see all the different teams coming.
Well, Coach, following this Classic, you guys have a number of games left before the start of the tournament. You have some in-conference opponents like Sandy Valley, Ridgewood, Garaway, and Tusky Valley. You also have a game, I think might be your season finale, if I'm not mistaken, against another team that'll be in this Classic in Millersburg West Holmes. So when you look down at this stretch of games throughout the season, what do you believe is the main message you want to get into your girls' heads to ensure that they can kind of keep themselves at a competitive level going into the start of the tournament?
Yeah, I think for us, it's getting our girls to believe in themselves and all the work that they've put in. We've had a chance to compete with some of the best teams in the state. We played Laurel first game of the year, had a competitive 3 quarters with them, and we played Wheeling Park out of West Virginia, who I think is the best team in West Virginia. They'll probably win the Division I state championship down there. And so, then the end of that first quarter, it was 25-23, and And so we played Tusky Valley last week and we scored 17 points in the whole game. So, getting that belief in them that, they are good at this game and it's fun to play together. I'm excited. We also got Waynedale in a couple weeks. They're at the Classic as well. But yeah, that West Holmes game is fun. It's good to have them back on the schedule. That's a fun rivalry for our area. And I mean, they're undefeated. They've got a good game against Lima Bath here Saturday night. I think if they win that, they'll probably be undefeated when we play them last game of the year. So that'll be a good test for us going into the tournament and a good battle.
Coach Brady Schlabach, we appreciate you taking the time once again to join us here on the Big Time Sports Podcast Show. And best of luck to you, not only to your team, but the rest of the entire program as they are set to host the 2023 Classic in the Country starting this Saturday at Hiland High School. Thank you so much, Coach.
Appreciate it, Mitch. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
Hey, Coach.